welcome back to David Wickham RC. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you. We have the 49cc pocket bike engine here, and we're going to do the upgrade 54cc big bore kit to it. What you need to do is just remove your pocket bike motor. On my channel we build large scale RC cars, so that's why I have like a chain and a brace, chain tensioner and a brace. We use this muffler, no can muffler on here. But with further ado, let's get into this. I'm going to need to remove the muffler. So 10mm. Put these, all this. I recently had this top end off it here not too long ago. So I was checking it out, and it didn't have any good gasket, so I used some black RTV to reseal it on the exhaust and on the base gasket. And those people think you can't do that, but you really can. It's an old trick we used to do when we used to race go-karts. We couldn't get the exhaust to seal, so we used to use a little bit of black RTV, and it surely worked good, man. See what I did, yep. See, it works good. Silicone is like the best. So I'll probably go back and use silicone again. See, it was hanging on the inside of the exhaust, and it was still just fine. Kind of crazy, huh? Then you're gonna need to pull out your 3 bolts on the side, in case. I already have this off here. I was kind of going over here and looking at this stuff earlier. I only have 2 on here. I don't ever run the back one at all. Alright. And on my motor, I have the red coil. I have this big bore kit with this red motor and this red clutch setup on a full circle crankshaft, and I bent the full circle crankshaft. Had made too much compression in it. You just out and out bent it. I have it on one of my videos I show. It's actually pretty bent, pretty bad. Yeah, but you can bend this crankshaft, believe it or not. Put this off of here, and I'm going to take the coil off. Like I said, I had all the screws earlier, so I was kind of looking over stuff, but these are 6mm. Pull those off. Start on the side. This is your coil. This is the best coil you can get that the pocket bike have, or you could get you another coil and just adapt it to here. Just make sure it's here and it clears your cooling fins. If not, you're going to have to cut your cooling fins. And a lot of y'all are kind of wondering why is the exhaust on the bottom instead of on the top. Well, for my applications that I do with these pocket bikes on these RC cars, we have to run the exhaust on the top. So we have to cut these cooling fins here, and on the big bore kit we cut them here too. That's just to clear the coil. Alright, so we got the coil mounts off. I guess we could go ahead and pull the plug. On this application, we were running a E3 spark plug. I found that them E3s are pretty good plugs, and they do well. I mean, I set mine up a couple weeks ago. I had too much, ran a 25 to 1 mixed in there, and it got stood up pretty bad. But I already cleaned this one, and it worked out pretty good. All right. And then the only other thing we got to do in order to get this whole cylinder off of there is to grab an Allen, right size. These have got locks on them. I think it's cool. Feel pretty good. Now, there is a myth that they say that you cannot do this setup like this with the big bore kit on a half circle crankshaft. I've seen a couple of videos online where people have done them, and they say that the roller here for your wrist pin, it doesn't fit too well on the piston, so you have to use the stock one, but the stock one moves around a lot. If that's the case, what I'm probably end up doing is I'll probably cut the video short, and we'll get some more clips, probably like some washers to put in between the sides of the wrist pin on the back sides of the boss here and the rod to take up the slot, because you don't want your roller bearing floating back and forth in there, because all that's going to do is just wear it out. You kind of want it to be stationary. Yeah, let's see once we get this thing danked down and see how it looks, because there's a lot of myth with that, you know. I've seen on YouTube and kind of wondered it myself. I've always just used the standard 47cc stuff on these pocket bike engines. To me, the 47cc is the best setup to run. I wish these things were a little bit better quality, but they are what they are. Maybe one day somebody will actually put out something nice, you know. For now, this is what we got to work with. And we got one more. Yeah, and I've seen some comments online too with RTV and gasoline and no hole with the gasoline and whatever. Well, I use RTV this time, although this base gasket, and I ran it probably almost a half a tank through this setup like this, spin like this. You'll see there's no base gasket. There's just RTV on there. Oh, there we go. Okay, the base gasket. Yeah, just got RTV on it. And RTV held. Look it, all the way around. It held. Isn't that crazy? So you can use black RTV with no gasket on here. It works absolutely perfect. So, running into a pinch and you don't have time to get a gasket, this will work. This will work just fine. So we need to get our needle nose pliers out, and need to get this little clips out here. So what you can do, just grab your needle nose and kind of grab them and twist and pull at the same time, and these things should come right on out of here. Twist and pull, just like that. You just kind of rotate it out. There's one. Right there. That's all we really need to do to get him out. And just kind of push that wrist pin out. It'll come out. Looks like. So good, we can do it. It ain't gonna be that way, huh? Make a fool of myself on camera, huh? There. Just roll them out of there. I'll show you a neat trick when we put these back in. Alright, here comes the little baby wrist pin. Alright. Oh, there's your little tiny baby piston. And here's the roller. That's what it looks like on the inside. This is only a half circle crankshaft, not a full circle crankshaft. Many of you are like, well, you didn't do the knife edge mod. Well, if you watch any of my videos, you'll see why I say don't do it, because all you're doing is creating more case volume, and on a two-stroke, you don't want to create any more case volume than possible. So by you cutting this off of here at an angle, you're creating more volume. I know it's a little bit, but you're still creating more volume. The best thing to do is to do a full circle crankshaft with the big bore kit, and you'll have a lot of compression. It just gives it that much better signal to the reed valve, and you'll see it has a whole bunch more compression. they got one of those kits on the Kraken, and every time we go out there, we just bend and rear that we have to pull start that thing because it's a beast. It feels like you're going to break the pull start. It's got so much compression. Okay, so let's get some of these tools out of the way. All this little stuff out of the way, clips out of the way. Lost stuff out of the way. Alright, so we got that all done. So you can clean this off with some, I got peroxide. It works pretty good. So I usually clean a lot of my stuff with. As you can see, the roller bearings for the 47 and the 50 are totally different. And the pin size is totally different too. See, this is where I was talking about we might get into a problem here, because the bushing on here, it goes in here for the roller bearing right here. Well, this roller bearing will not fit in here at all. So that's where a lot of people probably get discouraged and be like, oh man, I spent all this money on this kit and I can't even use it. Well, yeah. And here's the wrist pin for the 40, for the 53, and here's the wrist pin for the 47. So, I mean, you might be able to use this on here. I doubt it because, see that slop in there? I wouldn't put that in there. That just scares me that somebody would do that. I can't believe this. This is not right. You see that? Can't have that like that. And I had a funny feeling about this setup, and I just wanted to kind of show you that this will not fit on a 47. You have to have a full circle crankshaft for this. So, all that saying being, I mean, all I'm gonna do is just put some silicone back on that, and then we'll just put all this stuff to the side until we get another good full circle, because the only one I have is that old one, and it's bent, and I don't want to use it. And I just wanted to prove this theory to y'all, that if you have a 47 that has this crankshaft, this stuff does not work. See, this is the 47, this is the 54, way bigger, dude, way bigger. And to me, a 47cc on an RC car is plenty. Way more than machine. All you're going to do is you're going to make more power, which is going to create more torque, and it's going to bend stuff. You're going to start breaking stuff and bending stuff. Your drive line's not good. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave this video. Because I knew there was some kind of fishy deal with this. Being granted, I mean, you could take the crank out, you could probably take it to a machine shop, you could probably give them this wrist pin and the bearing and tell them to size it out. I don't know if they'll do that, they may do that, but it's kind of a bummer when you get this thing home and you're like, oh man, I want to put the kit in, you got to put it in, you can't, because the pins are different, everything's different. So the only mod you can do go from here is to take the flywheel and the clutch off, and split the case, and put a full circle crankshaft into it. And I have the full circle laying around here. Yeah. This is the full circle that I bent. It's screwed up in there, but see, this will fit in here. See, that'll fit in there perfectly. And you'd be able to run your 50cc whatever setup. But this one, I don't want to run this. It's bad. It scares me to death. But yeah, I did want to show you a piston modification you can do. So these are both 53cc pistons. This one down here, we polished it. This one's just cast. This gives you better flame travel. I did the polishing on this and probably about tank full ago, and it's still nice and shiny. So that means it's actually working pretty good. But yeah, this is Dave with Pocket Bike 50cc, not completed. Just wanted to show you that this was kind of an inferior product to me by Pocket Bike. I will say another inferior product is, I've been trying to get the word out there, but these air filters, these Chinese air filters you get with the Pocket Bike, either fill them with epoxy up over an inch over the holes. Watch my Pocket Bike air filter videos. Put you need some Pocket Bike air filter on there, something that's sealed on both ends. Maybe even put a oiled sock on it. I know these motors are cheap, but if you're low dough and don't have much money, that's a way to save your motor. And this motor, I've had this motor for over a year, and this is the second piston I put in it. Because the first one I kind of screwed it up. I cut the skirt way too low trying to take away wear, but it didn't work. But I've been running this one and it's been fine, so I'm just going to hang this thing back together. But this is Dave. Like and subscribe. Give me any comments. Shoot me some comments. Trying to build the channel a little bit bigger. Yeah. We'll have a good one, and I hope I solve some mysteries for some people. Later, guys.